Hello. I promised after episode 96 of Adventures in Pop, and this is actually episode 97, that I would be back with a cheery, upbeat analysis of the new Goldhawk Foxes single, which is out tomorrow, Friday, the 10th of February. But events, dear boy, events have intervened. So I actually just want to talk to you very briefly about the fantastic life of Burt Bacharach, who has sadly died today at the age of 94. Just heard about it, and I basically, of all the legends of pop and rock over the last 50 years, I mean, really, this man is amongst the very best, the most prolific, and the most important. Okay, let's start at the beginning for me. I saw Burt Bacharach with Elvis Costello when they'd made the album Painted from Memory. And so I think we're talking about late 90s. I think I went to the Royal Festival Hall and saw the two of them together. And it's one of the best concerts I think I've ever been to in my life. And because it was just like, it was like being massaged in a big bowl of slightly warm blancmange. And it was utterly gorgeous. And listening to the two of them and just observing their relationship and the way that they worked together and the sounds they made and the way that they brought together two quite separate, musical canons, being a little pompous there, and pushed them together and made it work so beautifully. But of course, Burt Bacharach is best known for a bunch of hits, mainly in the 60s. We're talking about Dionne Warwick, Aretha Franklin. We're talking about things like Walk On By, Say a Little Prayer, Close to You, that was the big hit for the Carpenters, and even into the 80s where it was Arthur's Theme, Christopher Cross, I think he won an Oscar for that, Raindrops Are Falling on My Head, Do You Know the Way to San Jose? I mean, there are so many great hits that have Bacharach's name on them. He was the musical accompanist to Hal David's lyrics, for many, many hits in the 60s. He was married several times, I think 4 times actually, and he lived a good age. So it's not about being terribly miserable that the man is no longer with us, but I think a real opportunity to celebrate one of the great composers of the last 50 years. So please, if you don't know much about Burt Bacharach, I would urge you, go and check out those early hits. There are some best of Bacharach and David collections that have stuff like, Walk On By, Anyone Who Had a Heart, This House Is Not a Home, all those great, great songs in their original form from the 60s, as I say. The Look of Love, Dusty Springfield, Tom Jones, What's New Pussycat? I think it's What's New Pussycat. But there's so many. So go and check out some of those original fantastic 60s recordings because his work is phenomenal, basically. And, the chord structures and the time structures in some of these songs were really revolutionary. They were not like normal pop music as it had been sort of, expressed up until that point. So he really pushed the boundaries. And then I would say go and check out the Elvis Costello, Burt Bacharach. There were 2 albums they made together. The first one is particularly good, Painted from Memory. Just indulge yourself in the pleasure of that album too. So that's it. I just wanted to say, Burt Bacharach, I'm sad to hear of his death, but what a great chance to celebrate an unbelievable, life well spent, giving us extraordinary pop music. See you next time. Bye-bye.